Days 8, 9, and 10 came off the tail end of an all-nighter between days 7 and 8, and collectively they represent a level of exhaustion and work that I'm not able or willing to sustain. So hopefully day 11 forward is different. It needs to be something different, or this is something that I can't do. But let's go back. I did a video already on day 8, but I'm going to pick it up at around 6 p.m. day 8, which was a Sunday, when I picked up one more fryer. It wasn't easy to get it into the van with what I already had in there, but actually the process of getting it itself into the van was not too bad. Then I needed to drive and drop it off in Chicago before 5 p.m. the following day. Traffic was terrible coming through the Washington, D.C. area out of Maryland, and it got bad again as I got towards Chicago. The drive went poorly. The drive itself was okay, but I was absolutely exhausted, and I found that nothing was going to do it other than the thing that should do it for exhaustion, which is sleep. And even after catching a few hours of sleep in the van, a couple different intervals, I just felt pretty terrible. I listened to some podcasts, and as I was lifting one of the fryers that needed to be unloaded by hand out of the van, and then later trying to hold it up with one arm while I put the strap and fed the strap through to strap it down with the other, and all those things, I just was thinking about the podcast that said, you know, your muscles capacity and your body's capacity can be so greatly diminished by things like lack of sleep. The level of exertion that you're able to sustain is changed drastically. And as I was listening to these podcasts about topics like running and health, it just felt so ironic that I'd been sitting and driving for like 36 of the previous 48 hours. I made that statistic up on the spot, but that's, the same with 90% of statistics anyway. Once I got back to Michigan, it was a pretty quick turnaround. I did get to sleep at my own place for the night. It was a pretty quick turnaround to come up, or I should say drive down, because it's south of me, to the Allen Antique Barn, which is where my next pickup was. This pickup is for a sofa that belonged to my sister, which I put on eBay for her several months ago. And she had said that, as time went on and it didn't sell, that she just kind of was willing to keep coming down on the price, and she would have sold it for $800 at the Allen Antique Barn, or that's what she wanted to see out of it after costs. But I left it at the price I had it on eBay, and it ended up selling for $4,000. So out of that, I was able to charge my normal rate for something going that distance. And she was still very happy with what she got out of it. It was more than double what she was willing to take. Actually about triple. Okay. Do I need to keep going here? It was more than triple what she was willing to take out of it. So that's the thing with these types of items. When somebody really wants it and they have the money for it, the price is not that consequential, and they can pay a fair price for the item, a fair price for the shipping. I paid storage on it to have it at the Allen Antique Barn, which is owned by one of my friends who was not going to charge me storage, but it felt right when that item sold for the amount that it sold for to ask my sister if she would feel comfortable taking out a a relatively small amount to provide some compensation to the barn that had held onto it. So my buddy Tyler and I loaded things up, and I needed to leave room for one more item, which is a table coming out of Indiana. And I didn't want to be trying to shuffle things around when I arrived, so we packed everything in to leave room, hopefully that the table can just be loaded in quickly and easily, which is always the best presentation for the customer when I'm picking up from the customer. Customer can vary. Sometimes the customer is the person who bought the item and they're looking for shipping. Sometimes the customer is the person who sold the item, who has included shipping in their sale price or in some other way communicated that they will ship the item. So without going into a lot of details on a lot of things, that's about it for the last couple of days. I'm still very tired. It's almost midnight tonight, I know, and tomorrow is Christmas. I had a nice Christmas Eve, low-key catching up with a good friend, so that was great. And tomorrow it's back at it, and I'm not gonna add more to this video because I am tired and need to go to bed.